Hey Tim, look at this.
Needs work.
Hey Tim, how about this?
Still needs work.
Darn it. How about this?
Nice, high five.
Hey there everybody, how's it going?
My name's Tim.
My name's Michael.
And you're watching the TMI show.
That's the Tim and Michael Information Show. And today we're talking about
Keeping the ball rolling. It's a hamster ball.
Or as you said, Indiana Jones.
Exactly. Bum, 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 bum.
So, what we were talking about, we're actually, Brian Murray, our
fantastic
god of an instructor of storyboarding,
Yes.
he actually sent me a little email over the break, when I was talking about taking a break, and he said, to keep the ball rolling, because once the ball stops, it's hard to pick it back up again.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I'm always ready to heed whatever my instructors and mentors have to tell me. But I've recently told you that I joined up with the band again.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember there was a day in high school where I was playing every single day. And of course I got better. If the more you do anything, the better you're going to get at it. The more you draw, the better you're going to get at it.
Yep. It's just muscle memory.
Yeah, and I think I looked at myself in high school too, and I was like, yeah, like I was so good. Like I was so good when I was drawing, like every single day. But then there was something like maybe when I stopped, like did I lose a little something? And then maybe when I was playing guitar, I'm like, did I lose a little bit of that? But I recently joined the band again, and I hadn't played every single day. And there was a part of me, I remember when I hadn't played in a while, that said, hey, I'm not playing as good as I used to. But then I think when I was aware of that, I said, no. I told myself, no, you were that good once. Why can't you not be that good now?
Right.
So it just took me a little bit of warming up.
Work, come on.
but I found myself getting back to my place that I was very, very quickly, like within a day.
Nice.
Within a day of just focusing on going and playing with it. And so all of a sudden I'm challenging the thought of keeping the ball rolling. Because with the guitar, that boulder stopped a long time ago. And sometimes I'd pick up the guitar, but I wouldn't play it every single day.
Sure. Not enough to keep the ball going.
Yeah, exactly.
As you say.
But I'm still playing, and I'm better than I was. So I don't know if what do you think does it need to keep rolling, or can it stop?
Yeah, but I think there's something to be said about that, because piano to me was what guitar is to you.
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of piano in high school, and I loved John Williams and Star Wars, so I had all these Star Wars pieces that I would play. And regrettably, when I went to Biola University 7 years ago, I had to stop taking lessons.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I kind of tried to practice, I didn't really have the time. And when I did have the time, the piano in the dorm I was in was very poorly tuned. So I basically stopped playing when I went to school 7 years ago. But even when I sit down now and I play, I still need the music.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have the stuff memorized, and I don't anymore. But even now when I play, having not played for 7 years, I'm still better than when I, had been playing for 2 years or 3 years. It's just, I think it's something that sometimes your memory just doesn't entirely let go of, and once you warm up, that muscle memory comes back, and you're like, I remember this.
I think I found, because I took a keyboarding class in high school, I didn't really know how to formally type when I was in freshman year, but then after going into my sophomore year over summer, I took a keyboarding class, and I just remember getting good, from whatever program I was using, and I kind of blitzed ahead. For me, I've noticed, because the same thing happened with guitar drawing, there are certain things that I feel like if I'm peaking, if I can break past this certain point, then it'll stay with me. Mm-hmm. I can go away from it. But I feel like with piano, because I started taking a beginning piano class, and I was getting pretty good, but then I stopped. I feel like I stopped right before that point of having it settle and land in and sit with me, that it was part of me. And I haven't really gone back, and I forgot how to read music, and same thing with trombone. With reading music, I was able to play the trombone in 4th, 5th grade and look at what the notes were and actually play just from sight reading. But they stopped doing it. Or the B.
Oh.
From the anyways.
Wow, even on imaginary trombone, that's embarrassing.
So, but I think again, in knowing yourself, some psychiatrist or psychologist or whomever, somebody with a degree can be like, hey, that's wrong, and you need to keep your ball rolling. But I think for me, I've learned there's a couple things that I broke past a certain point of the ball. I think I needed to keep the ball rolling up to a point that I broke past it because now it's just with me. Drawing is with me. The guitar is with me. There's just certain things. Typing.
Yeah.
Photoshop.
There you
Photoshop.
go.
I felt like I broke past a certain point. If I would have only taken like a little crash course in Photoshop, I might have been able to go around. But I remember I hadn't worked in Photoshop for a few weeks, close to a month, and then I went back to it to actually sit down and do a project. And it took me 2 seconds to go like, oh, that's right. That's what I'm doing.
Oh.
You know what I think helped with that?
Yeah.
Video games.
Really?
Well,
just because it's buttons and
one controller. I didn't even think about that because I mean I thought it was about it one time. I'm like, how the heck can I play all of these different games and keep going back to them? And I think about like when I was younger, when me and my brother and my cousin Anthony, we would just be sitting down. We were like kids. We were playing either the Game Boy and they had the PlayStation set up. And we were always rotating, like from morning till night. We'd unplug the PlayStation, plug in the 64, or the Super Nintendo, regular Nintendo. We'd just keep going back and forth, constantly between controllers. Had all this training of like, but even on one console alone, the same controller, whatever it is your gateway, is your translator to how you interface. And it's the same buttons, and somebody has to figure out, well, for our game, it's going to do this. Well, for our game, it's going to do this. Well, for our game, it's going to do this. And somehow, between Assassin's Creed, Batman, Limbo, whatever it is that I'm playing, I'm still able to figure out, like, when the second I pick it up, well, that's right, that's this game. So I didn't even think about that. Then maybe that's helped me, break past a certain point. So... does your ball need to keep rolling for you, or?
Yeah, well, and I think I want to kind of transition the conversation here too, because I think there's another kind of ball that's important for me to keep rolling. I mean, like you, I've been drawing for a while now, and it's coming more naturally than it did. But I think keeping your enthusiasm rolling is also very important. I mean, I've gotten into this habit now where every single morning. Whether I'm going straight to work or if I'm sitting in for like a day of drawing and painting and stuff, I will sit down and draw Disney characters. And it's really easy. I'll just put up a YouTube video or a DVD and I'll just copy what's on the screen. And it's really quick, it's simple, and it kind of gets my hand engaged and my mind and my eyes engaged for drawing. And then it's really fun because they can put them on Facebook and people are like, oh, you can draw, yay! But what I found is not only does it make me a better artist because I'm constantly drawing for a few minutes every day, but it also makes me it gets my mind focused on doing artwork as opposed to, oh gosh, I think I'll spend my whole day on Facebook and YouTube. It keeps that enthusiasm moving, and I'm more receptive to actually doing artwork because I'm honestly doing artwork is a pain sometimes, and it's a pain all the time. I don't want to do it initially. I have to kind of force myself to sit down and get on Photoshop or break out the pencils and get to work. And it's not until I've done it for a few minutes that I'm like, oh, hey, this is kind of neat. Oh, hey, look what I did.
I think it's important to keep that. I didn't even think, wow, the enthusiasm. Because it also makes me think of, too, if you're going to keep your enthusiasm alive, you need to kind of take care of yourself. And what do I mean by take care of yourself? We were talking about these bare essentials that are important in life. Mm-hmm. I think you kind of have to take care of... Marshall was talking to us once about how, like, he wanted a certain Alice in Wonderland project to be so good, but then how he was talking about how, like, so focused he was on making it good, and how he said that's no way to create. Sometimes you might have things that are just getting in the way of you creating. Sometimes you might have things that are getting in the way of you letting yourself practice. What is it? Practice with music, practice playing, practice drawing, practice your singing, practice your dancing, whatever it is. Sometimes you just have to take care of whatever those things are, whether it be get rid of them, or I realized that there was a point when I didn't have steady work, and it was really kind of sad for my morale. It was a little depressing because I didn't have work, and all of a sudden from working so much and then not working, very bad for my morale, and
Yeah.
I was not creative. But now that I'm working again, wow, like I feel so much like I didn't even think. I'm like, wow, this is directly affecting, like, you know, how I'm feeling. Like when they told me, hey, you have a job, I was like,
Sure.
wow, weight off the shoulders. All of a sudden, like now I can do all these things, and that's the enthusiasm. That's
it
the
completely
drive.
affects
isn't
your
it?
outlook.
Yeah.
You know, you think you kind of get to the end of your week and you're like, oh wow, look at what I did. I just, I worked for 20, 30 hours this week, and then I went to school and I did a class and I got all this stuff done. I love it when it gets to the end of a day and people are like, so how was your day? And I'm like, well, I went to work and then I read a book and then I did a drawing, then I saved a third world country from hunger, and I had a great day. I love days like that.
Saved a third world country. You know, whoa. Where
You owe me a Coke.
it's your house. No, I'm kidding. Kind of is. And so
My studio, you forgot.
Your studio. It's our studio.
Oh, give me my Coke.
Where's our interns?
You fired them.
I did.
Yeah.
Because we weren't paying them enough at all.
Keep going.
I was gonna say, I noticed kind of how relaxed we are right now, like, just kind of sitting there.
Incredibly.
And the thing
I
is,
didn't know the couch went this far back.
well, yeah, right. Whoa, talking about force perspective. Not if you had a
Yeah,
telephoto lens, you could
right.
be all the way up there, and telephoto we'd look the same. Anyways, I noticed how we were saying earlier, 2014 is looking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I feel great about 2014, and it occurred to me, you're not taking classes.
Yeah.
And but here we are, we're
First
still
time in
getting
a while.
together, and it just occurred to me, like, gosh, like we're just getting busier and busier, but like, to just kind of be sitting back and like, oh, this is my time to kind of decompress, but this is my time to kind of do this. And I know that we're going on a little off tangent about keeping the ball rolling, but I think, I just saw Jim the other day, and he talked about, like,
I haven't seen him in ages.
he's great, and he
is.
asked us to talk about the Easel Club that we're starting, and
Easel Club.
Subtle plug. Entertainment Arts Student League. We did it first. In case anyone else is like, we have that name. Anyways, so well, we're in the process of submitting, and we have to get approved. But anyways, and then he was talking about, how you can tell them about how you were in the illustration class, and then it's funny. Charmaine was with us because she's our treasurer, and she said, I'm just going to stand here and I'm not going to say anything. But then she said, totally out of nowhere, it's a great place to meet people. It's a great place to network, and it's a great place to do this if we started our club. And I said, like this is the place where Jim says, where you're going to meet people that you might work with, and I said, or you might record a show with,
Yeah,
so,
pretty much.
That's kind of. So I think I'm going to stop this ball from rolling, before I talk about too many other
I
things.
think it's rolling away.
Rolling away. But sometimes it happens. It's, by episode 100, we'll have this formula down. Maybe.
You'll get all the information you need to know in 2.5 minutes flat.
Yeah.
On the dot.
We're trying. What are we at, 13?
Yeah,
13,
in the future,
13.
it'll come to you in little pills.
We'll stop at 13, 13. Okay, so thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming in and tuning in with us once more, and we hope you have a good one.
Keep the ball rolling.
See ya.
Hey guys, if you would like to reach Michael or myself, you can shoot us a question or a comment at tmi.art.productions@gmail.com.
Wish upon a star, your dreams will come true.